Vultures are ugly. No one wants to stay near them. And ostrich are hypocrites. They bury their head thinking no one is seeing them. But eagles fly high and high. So from today, become an eagle. Thank you.
Let's appreciate it. Thank you.
My name is Amani Katana, and I am a marine surveyor by profession who jumped the ship in September 2011 in order to follow his passion for social entrepreneurship and service to the community. When I say I jumped the ship, it means I resigned from the shipping industry. I'm an award-winning social entrepreneur. Just like my colleague has introduced me, I run a community-based organization known as Youth Empowerment Program Initiative, whereby we train young people on entrepreneurship and innovation. We train them on leadership, and we train them on environmental conservation. And I also founded GabTech, from the word garbage technology, whereby we collect waste in Mombasa, and then we recycle this waste to make what we call charcoal briquettes for cooking. Because we don't want people to cut trees for cooking, so we provide them with an alternative means of energy for cooking. So this audience has something that never comes across when you go to audience like this. I can see happy faces, and in Mombasa we said nyuso zenu zimejawa na nuru na bashasha mithili ya nyota angani. And this happiness I can see in your faces, to me I think it's the happiness of being a young person. Right? Because believe me, there is nothing good like being young, and there is nothing bad like being old. And I don't mean any harm to the old people here. Imagine you're old and you're sick. That might be maybe easier. Imagine you're old, you're sick, and you're poor. That might also be easier. Imagine you're old, sick, poor, and uneducated. That might be maybe manageable. But the worst thing is, imagine you're old, you're poor, you're sick, you're uneducated, and you're ugly. Yeah, so why did I use that example? Because, like I said, we have to make use of our youthfulness. Yes, we are young people, but the challenge is, how do we make use of our youthfulness? And for me, I'm talking to you as young people. And I define young people through the letters that describe the youth. And letter Y is yearn for more. Because you are young, you should not be satisfied with whatever you have. You should always yearn for more. And O, from the word youth, you should live objectively. You should have a purposeful life. You need to ask yourself, if you die today, for how many years more are you going to live when you die? What legacy are you going to leave? What will people say after you have died? So as a young person, you have to live a purposeful life. And from the word you, unleash your potential. Because you're a very young person, you are energetic, you are courageous, you have something in you that you can unleash, not only for yourself, but also for your community. So that talent that is inside you, unleash it. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of people, what people will say about you. If you see a problem in your community, don't be afraid to take action. If you see a problem in your community, don't be afraid to mobilize resources and solve that problem, not only for yourself, but also for your community. That is how you will live a purposeful life as a young person. And the letter U, T, from the word youth, is this is the time, this is your time.
You should not be worried about yesterday, because yesterday is a history. And you should also not be stressed about tomorrow, because tomorrow is a mystery. What you should be worried about is the present. And that is why it's called the present, because it's the gift. Because you're not sure about tomorrow, and yesterday has passed. So this is your time. Make use of this time as a young person, because when you grow old, people can talk good things about you. Or when you die today, at least people can be proud of your achievement. Okay?
So, how do you make use of your youthfulness? Maybe you might be asking yourself this question. Yes, you said I'm a young person, I'm very energetic, I'm very enthusiastic, but how do you make use of your youthfulness? Number one, you need to start by changing things in your community. That makes you a leader.
Don't wait for people to come and do things for you. You need to start changing things in your community as a young person. And how will you change things in your community? You can change these things through social entrepreneurship. And that is what I do. And I'm a social entrepreneur. And that is what I was told to talk about, to share my story with you guys. So for me, I see social entrepreneurship as an opportunity for us young people to solve problems in our community. There are so many challenges in Africa. They say Africa has many cell phones than toilets. This is a challenge. And for example, where I come from, Mombasa generates approximately 2,000 metric tons of solid waste per day. This is a challenge. Kids don't get proper education. This is a challenge. But for us to solve these challenges, for me, I think social entrepreneurship is the best way to solve these challenges. For example,
if students in your community, for example, if girls in your community don't have access to proper education, you need to ask yourself questions before solving this question. Why are these girls not going to school?
Is it that the school is far from where they live? Is it that there is no proper sanitation in the school? Is it that there is no role models to inspire these girls to go to school? Once you ask yourself these questions, and once you get the answers to this question, then you are in a better position to be a social entrepreneur. Because to me, social entrepreneurship is all about solving community problems. This is what I call social entrepreneurship. Because if you're not solving a problem, then you have to ask yourself, why are you in that business? Why are you calling yourself an entrepreneur? Because all what it takes for you to succeed in social entrepreneurship, identify a problem in your community. There are so many problems where we live. And this problem, the good thing is they provide an opportunity for us young people to be leaders, to be there for our communities. Okay?
And that is why I saw this problem back in Mombasa, where my people were complaining every day about garbage collection. But you see, complaining doesn't make you a good leader.
They say leaders meet and discuss solutions, right? So you need to come up with a solution. You should not be complaining, because once you complain, you become part of the problem. And you may start locally. You don't have to start big. You may start within your community, identify a problem in your community, start locally as you expand to other areas. Ladies and gentlemen, I was told that in this group there are graduates from Kenya Keys, and there are those who are already in school, those who have already completed. So I prepared 5 advice for you. And advice number 1 is, you should not fall in love with your degree. You're not married to it. Okay? Because you're pursuing education or engineering or any other course, when you graduate, don't limit yourself to whatever you studied in school. I'm a good example. I studied marine survey.
But today, I'm a social entrepreneur. So if I had fallen in love with what I studied in school,
maybe until today I could still be working in the ships. I could have not made this impact that I've made since I resigned. So don't fall in love with what you studied in school. Don't limit yourself with whatever is written in your diploma or certificate. You can do better than that, okay? My advice number 2 is strengthen your network. This is very, very important because today the greatest currency that we have is people. Forget about the cryptocurrency, forget about the Bitcoin, forget about the dollars, forget about the Kenya shillings. The greatest asset that we have is people. You need to build on social capital. Many of us think that the biggest challenge that they face in their community is financial capital, but to me, I think the most important thing is to build the social capital, the people, because these people can come with everything. And if you look at the statistics, those people who get businesses or those people who get jobs, they got them through friends, they got them through families who told them about this job. So every person that you meet, be it in the streets, be it in forums like this, make use of that person, maintain the relationship, because you don't know where this person will take you tomorrow. Advice number 3 is embrace learning. This is very, very important, and I would like to laud Kenya Keys because they believe in education, and that is why they are empowering young people like you. But it doesn't mean that if you have a degree, then you know everything. This is not true. Okay? So embrace learning, continue learning, because the world is changing. The way we used to do things 5, 10, 15 years ago, it's not the way we do things today. So if you don't want to embrace yourself in continuous learning, then you'll be left behind. Okay? Number 4, be open and don't forget that values matter.
And in this, number 4,
I have an advice to you. 1, learn to ask the right questions rather than having the right answers.
learn to ask the right questions rather than having the right answers.
Number 2, be open and seek out alternative perspective. Be open and seek out alternative perspective. Like I said, don't limit yourself to whatever is written in your degree, or don't limit yourself only to your community. You are better than that. All right? God did not create us to fail. Do you believe that? Because in the Bible, God said, I created you in my own image, right? So if God created you in his own image, God is not a failure. So you cannot also be a failure, right? And in the Quran, they say, Inni ja'ilun fil ardi khalifa. I will create the best persons in the world. So if God said this in the Quran, it means God is also not a failure. So don't limit yourself. God did not created you to come and fail, or God did not created you to come and live, sleep, eat, and so on. There's so many things you can do with your life, and it's through impacting people. Because you cannot succeed in life unless you make other people successful.
Okay? My advice in this point number 4.
Don't let someone else define your values. You need to believe in yourself. Don't let someone else tell you that you cannot make it. Don't let someone tell you that, oh, because you are a girl, you cannot be an engineer. Don't let someone tell you that in our family, no one graduated from university, therefore there is no way you can graduate. Okay? Don't let people define your value. My advice in this point number 4, don't look outside the window for opportunities. Look in the mirror, because you have all what it takes to succeed in this life. And finally, don't forget to cultivate the behavior and values that will most impact your success and those around you. Whatever you're doing, it should not be only for yourself. Think about the people who are surrounding you. Think about the community. Think about the marginalized people who did not get an opportunity just like you. And it's good to hear the stories from Kenya Keys Alumni Association, the examples that some of you are doing.
After graduating, you go back to impact your community. This is the most important thing to do, because this is the community that supported you, so you need to go back
and impact that community. Okay? And my advice number 5 to graduates is believe in God and make hope your weapon. Believe in God and make hope your weapon, because to me, this is the most important thing. Believe in God and have hope. Because even if you're young and you're hopeful, you're hopeless, you'll grow old. But you might be old and you have hope, you look young. Look at Brent and Brenda. They look young because they have invested in young people, okay, for 13 years to come. So you need to invest back in people. That's how you will grow young every day. But if you don't do that, you'll turn into vegetables. Ladies and gentlemen, as I wind up, they said pigeons are coward, vultures are ugly, no one wants to stay near them. And ostrich are hypocrites, they bury their head thinking no one is seeing them. But eagles fly high and high. So from today, become an eagle. Thank you.
Let's appreciate it.